What is going on, my dudes and dudettes? Sean here with SNES Serpentarium. I'm chilling with my pied here today, my pied boy. He's looking absolutely gorgeous as always, growing really well, and I'm really happy with his progress here. He won't sit still though, sadly. So today's topic is going to be ball python feeding guide. Now, for a snake this size, you want to feed, if I just get hold of him here, you want to feed something about the width of the body, maybe a little bit thicker, and you want to do that every week. That's where I've been feeding this guy, once a week. He's pushing the 500-600 gram mark now. I haven't weighed him in a little while, but he's getting nice and long. He's got a really nice build to him. He's actually he's just over a year old. I believe he was born last April and it's now August. So, but I can't guarantee he was born last April. I picked him up last June, so I'm assuming he was born around April time last year. But he's doing really well for me. He's putting on the weight. So that's where I would feed for that sort of age then and size. I'd feed roughly every week. A meal about the same size as his body, maybe a little bit thicker. Depends on what you want to do for that. And I'll just pull out another snake now, an adult snake, and I'll give you a guide on that. Right, so this is my adult Fire. She's a Fire 66% het pied. She's looking lovely and chunky. She's weighing in just over 1700 grams. And at this size, if it's a pet, I would recommend feeding it every other week. And you can see there how thick his body is, okay? I'd go a little bit thicker than the body, feed it every other week, and then feed it a medium rat or a small rat. And I'll keep it in nice good body condition then. It'll put on a little bit of weight ready for when it's ready to fast, because it will fast at some point. I find that they all fast at some point there. But it'll keep them gaining the length slowly, as an adult should do, and that feeding recommendation is valid for 2 years and over, maybe 3 if the snake is smaller and you feed in smaller prey items. But at this sort of size, I'd say 1400 grams and over, that's the sort of feeding regime I would do. Unless it's, you know, under a year old and it's that big, then I'd carry on feeding like you are, because perhaps it's just a bigger specimen of a snake. There we go, just leaving her do what she wants there. And going into hatchlings then, I do actually have hatchlings here, but they haven't long eaten, so I'm not going to pull them out and upset them. But a hatchling, I would recommend feeding every 5 days, and that's just to get a weight on it as soon as possible. Feed it an item at or a little bit smaller than its body width, and then feed it every 5 days. I wouldn't go any bigger than that, just because they're hatchlings and they might not take it. Feed it often then, so it can pack on the weight and get in the routine of feeding often. And then what'll happen then is it'll pack on the weight, and then there's less risk of anything going wrong. The bigger the snake is then, if it fasts, or perhaps you've dropped the ball a little bit, there's less chance of the snake passing away. That you've got longer then to get the vet, longer to notice there's problems, and more chance of you coming out on top. Obviously, if you notice something's wrong, please get it to the vet straight away. Don't be asking on Facebook, you know, what's wrong with my snake, is there any home remedies? Just get it straight to the vet. I'll just put it away now. yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk about for this topic. It's pretty straightforward. Everyone's got their own opinion on how often you should feed a royal. I'm personally of the opinion that you can't overfeed a young royal just because of how prone they are to fasting. I like to get a little bit of size on them without overdoing it. I'm not feeding them every day, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't consider feeding every 5 days, power feeding, just because I want to get that weight on it as quickly as possible without hurting its organs or anything, just so if anything goes wrong, or if it decides that it doesn't want to eat anymore at 6 months, a year old, it's not going to be in any trouble because it's got that weight on it to keep it healthy and to keep everything ticking over. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Don't forget, this is more for pets than breeders here. I'm not gonna give advice on breeding too much because I think they are overbred. The only advice I'm going to give with breeding really is going to be of the sensible type, and about weighting and trying to stop people from messing up if they've decided to breed, but I'm not going to encourage it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe, smash the notifications icon, destroy the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.